it's best we go with the steel frame, which is a lot cheaper, easy to maintain, because if you have a glass dome, just the cleaning cost for that is quite high, because you have to get a lift, you have to go up on the top and clean it every time because of the dust and everything. So it was decided we're going to go ahead with a metal dome, and that saved us almost $70,000 to $80,000, alhamdulillah. So go ahead. This is the inside structure. As you can see, they started working on covering this part. And this was when we got the light in the building, because we wanted to have work done as much as we can, even during the late hours. This is all the framing. At this point, there was no cabling done, nothing. It was just framing. So just wanted to show you some of the pictures of the condition inside where we were. This is the upstairs. Go ahead. So here, if you can see something very important, I want to show you. If you notice, when we took over, the framing was already done. And we noticed that the hallways are quite narrow. With the amount of people that we were going to accommodate in this building, we had to make some changes. Another thing, if you notice, upstairs especially, we noticed that all the windows were being covered. The classrooms has no window. There were classrooms in front of the back windows. There were actually rooms in front of the alley. So this alley, if you can see, there's a framing done there. We actually had that removed, and you will see it in the future pictures, because we wanted natural light to come in. So we had to make these last-minute changes very quickly to accommodate more light naturally into the building. This is when we started doing the framework and all the installation was getting done. As you can see, now here are the windows, if you go back, sorry. This is the classrooms upstairs. So we added all these extra windows, and we removed the wall in front of the, the alleys, the passageway, so we have natural light coming in. This is, downstairs area as they were doing all the sheetrocking. This is this area right there. At this point, we didn't have the windows inside. And this is when we started doing the air conditioning work. So this is all the air conditioning that was getting done here. There was a lot of work that went into this, and it all happened in the 5 to 6 months period. As you can see, this is when they started putting the tile. Now you have light coming in from both sides, because we removed the walls from the windows there, and also we added extra windows in all the classrooms, so we have natural light coming in. And when it comes to the tiles, alhamdulillah, we were able to save a lot of money, because we went straight to the manufacturer and we got it at a dirt cheap price. We got it almost at $6, and it was estimated almost at $14 by the contractor. So we saved a lot of money there as well. So this is when they started doing all the tile work. Go ahead. This is when we started doing the bathrooms. And we upgraded to the marble tops. This was not part of the plan, so we did that. Alhamdulillah, with the generous donations from the community, we were able to upgrade that as well. All the lights, if you remember, we changed every single light in this masjid to LED, which saves us thousands of dollars every month, alhamdulillah. So this is when they started doing the light. The elevator was installed. Keep going. And this is, alhamdulillah, when we put the carpet down, so we were almost ready to serve. All this transpired within pretty much 6 months. And even in the beginning of Ramadan, I remember the community members coming to me and saying it's impossible that this masjid will open in Ramadan. But alhamdulillah, with Allah's help, we were able to accomplish that. Go ahead. So masjid was completed. This is the stonework that we added, by the way, also, because the pathway outside the window in the original plan was only like 3-4 feet. So we added more space there so we can accommodate bigger congregations as they leave on Fridays. And this is the final picture of alhamdulillah when the masjid was completely done. Go ahead. This is the Eid Salah that we just had. We had, alhamdulillah, 4 Eid Salahs up till today, accommodating almost 20,000 people. If you remember, we always used to rent a hall or rent a place to do the Eid Salahs. Alhamdulillah, we accommodated 5,000 people at every Salah in the last 2 years. So I'm going to start off with January 2016 when we took over. When we took over, if you guys remember, the construction was at complete halt. Venture had already left the premises because there was a payment dispute for the change order for $113,000. If you recall, we were in that small trailer. A lot of community members were there. The work had stopped, and we decided, okay, what do we do now? How do we get going? So we decided we're going to go ahead and we're going to pay this amount because we want to get the work resumed. The other thing you want to know is to resume the work, the reason we decided to go ahead with the current contractor is because there was no construction bond. Now, this is required in most cases for this size of work. When you're doing a project which is worth $3-4 million, you always get a construction bond. Most people that are in the construction business will attest to that, that is required to protect yourself. Because if for any reason the contractor doesn't do their job, the bond takes care of it. You're covered. But we didn't have that, so we had no choice. Our hands were tied. We had to work with the guys that we had. I also want to thank the old Shura actually, because there was an outstanding loan that we had taken, which was taken I think maybe 3-4 years back. Abdul Hadi Bari will know. And that was more of a safety net that was taken, that if during the construction or during the work, if we need money, we can fall back on that money. But if you recall, before I even opted for this position, one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to make sure that we start off with a clean slate, we have no loans. So I really want to thank the old Shura for taking that step and paying that off, a month before handing it over to us. What I would have done there is I would have secured some funds from the donors because we were right in the middle of the construction and we didn't really have that much funds, and I'll explain that. So at the time of turnover in December, we had a total of $532,000 in construction account, and we had to pay that $113,000 right away to even get the contractors back to work. So we went ahead and we paid that. That left us down with only $418,000. Go ahead. So within the first 50 days, if you go back, and I think my video is still recorded from December, I have it, I said that the amount of money that we have is not going to last us for more than a month or two. And that's exactly what happened. Within 50 days, we were down to $53,000. And now we had to improvise because the work was at full pace. We were getting draws pretty much every other week to pay off. So the first thing we did was, alhamdulillah, the Shura came up with the idea, let's go ahead and ask the community to help us out, because it takes a couple of months to plan a fundraiser. We just took over, we just made these payments, and we had to plan a big fundraiser as well, because we needed the funds. With your support, alhamdulillah, again, we raised over $200,000 in less than 2 months by generous donations, by, if you remember, we had the light poles, we had the musallas, we had these windows, and mashallah, everyone pitched in. And we collected almost $200,000, and that is how we were able to continue to make payments to venture, because the work was going at full throttle. We told the guys, we want this masjid ready before Ramadan, and we had a lot of pressure on them, and we told them, make sure you get it delivered in 6 months, even though it was a huge task. Alhamdulillah, we did it. So in operations account, we had about $49,000. And if you recall, we got hit with a tax of $39,000. And this is something we shouldn't have paid to begin with, because we are a 501c. There is not a single 501c masjid that pays property tax. The reason we ended up with a property tax is because when we went to the tax office and we said we are a 501c, they said, why did you pay last year? So the tax was paid in the previous year. We set a wrong precedent, and we ended up paying this tax as well, because it was already due by January. We took over end of December. We had to make that payment. So we went ahead and we made the payment. So we asked them, okay, what do we do to prevent this from happening? They say, well, since there was a delay in your construction, once you get a CO, you bring the CO to us, and then only we will consider partially waiving your fee, the property taxes for future years. And once we see your CO, then we will waive it off. And alhamdulillah, we were able to do that. I'll talk about that as well. So construction resumed, as I said, on December 28th. We had a very successful fundraiser. $1.35 million was pledged, alhamdulillah. And we received the highest ever. 90% of that was collected. Again, the community showed their confidence in us. Alhamdulillah, we collected $1.123 million to take care of all the expenses. And I'll go through the numbers as well. Go ahead. Total amount paid to venture at the time when we took over was $843,000 in 2 years. In 6 months from the time we took over, we made almost $1.6 million of payment, a total payment of $2.43 million to venture within the first 6 months, alhamdulillah. Again, with your support. Total amount that we have paid as of yesterday to the subcontractors, and I'll talk about that briefly. When venture left, when we opened the masjid, they didn't finish the work. There was a lot of things that were not done. Not only that, we found out that there are a lot of subcontractors that have not been paid. Now, this is a very common practice. Contractors, they don't pay. Even though we have signed documents from venture, notarized, that says they have taken care of the payment, they have paid the subcontractors, we have to trust them. They gave us a written document that is notarized that says, we have made the payment, release the payment. So the process was, we get the draw, we give it to the architect, architect comes and inspects everything, he says, yep, this work is done, you can make the payment. So we had to release the payments. So we released the payments. But towards the end, we kind of realized that these guys are lying to us. And that happened around May, because the windows, as you can see, all these doors and windows, we had already made payment for that. And the windows were not coming. So I'm like, I've already paid you $58,000. Where are the windows? You know, we're going to open the masjid in 1 month. How come the windows are not coming? Oh, and they started making stupid excuses. So we realized there was a red flag already there that these guys are not being honest with us. But alhamdulillah, we'll walk you through the process how we dealt with that. Now, there are two things that you do when you build a masjid. One is a contractual thing, and then there are a lot of things that are outside of contract. Small example, cabling, cameras, audio system. These things are not covered. These are extra additional work that you have to pay for. We have so far, as of today, paid $344,277 in that respect. So if you do the maths right here, 1.6 million there, almost $500,000 there, another 400,000, 350,000 here. That's a lot of money. And alhamdulillah, every single penny is accounted for, because every single transaction happened from our bank account. We have a professional CPA, and I'll go through that process as well, that keeps track of every single penny that comes in, that goes out. And he's totally independent, nothing to do with us. Go ahead. So let me just give you a snapshot of what we just talked about. Amount paid to venture till December was $843,000. Amount paid to venture from December to resume construction was $113,000. We just talked about that. Another $1.6 million was paid till July. Outside vendors, we paid $344,000. Subcontractors, we paid $486,000. This is the old numbers from the old balance sheets. Total paid for land purchase, grading, parking, and architect. This is from the old, $2.3 million. Total cost so far, including land and construction that we have paid for this masjid, is $5.5 million, 5.585, almost $5.6 million, alhamdulillah. Go ahead. So we completed all the city requirements to receive the occupancy, alhamdulillah, on October 31st. Now, all of this was done without the contractor's help. And there were a lot of things that were not done properly. I'll give you a few examples. Landscaping. We found out the city came, and they said the landscaping is not done as per the specs. The trees are not the size it's supposed to be. We had to spend another $20,000 to get the proper trees so we can get a waiver from the city. Same thing, there was no gas connection, there was no heat. A lot of things were not done. So we had to get those done on our own to get the CO, because CO was very critical. If we didn't have the CO, we will be in bigger trouble. So alhamdulillah, we got the CO in October 31st, we talked about it. The property tax for 2016 was $70,000. That's what we got assessed for 2016. So we went ahead, and as soon as we got actually the TCO, which was a temporary occupancy, we went to the city and we said, you know, we have a TCO, we've already moved into our place. Can you help us out with the property tax? They said, well, as per the rules, you need to bring a CO. So we had to wait for the CO. The CO came, and alhamdulillah, with USA's help and with the member Shura team, you know, they all went there. We got it negotiated down to $32,000. We paid it off, and going forward, there's not going to be any tax on this masjid. This is now a total 501c without any tax. So we saved quite a bit, alhamdulillah, $38,000 right there. Now, venture, as you know, I talked about it because I've given multiple presentations in family nights. We sued them because we heard that they were trying to sue us. And we're thinking, these guys are crazy. we have done so much work outside, and we've been taking care of all these subcontractors. We went ahead, we consulted with our legal counsel, Asad. Alhamdulillah, Asad was able to get, team members from his team that he has worked with, and I'm going to actually request them to please come over and give a quick update. James and Mark, can you please come forward? And this is your chance to. So Alhamdulillah, we just talked about it. We have paid every single subcontractor that came and put any kind of claim on us. So we don't have a single lien at this point on our masjid. The only lien that we had was from Train that did the AC work, and Alhamdulillah, we just got a waiver from them as well. It has been released, it has been gone because we made the full payment, and we were actually able to negotiate the price and save some money to the masjid as well. So these are some of the upgrades that we did to the masjid after we opened. The first thing we did was we added sensors in all the main halls and everything so we can save electricity, so the lights get turned off automatically when there's no movement. All the lights I already explained were changed to LED lights, which is saving us a lot of money, including our parking, including inside. Every single, even the chandelier lights, they're all LED, alhamdulillah. We installed the ceiling fans upstairs and downstairs, and when we were doing that, we found out there was no wiring. There was not even the rods to hang these fans. So the venture guys, even though this was part of the plan, they didn't do even that part. So we have a lot, inshallah, that we're going to go after them, but just to give you an example, we, alhamdulillah, finished all that work as well. We added more speakers upstairs so that we have better sound in Ramadan. Go ahead. We added TVs upstairs, downstairs, in the main hallway, so we can do live streaming, Jummah khutbahs, everything. People can hear all that upstairs, alhamdulillah. We automated all the main entrances, so remotely we can control when it gets turned on, when it gets open, when it gets locked. We completed the admin room. We got the copier also for the Sunday school, and we have the keyless lock-ins for the IT room as well for added security. We completed these additional sliding doors also. This cost us almost $40,000. This is again something that was supposed to be done by Venture, which they left in the middle. Bookshelves were installed also in the hallways and upstairs, alhamdulillah. We're putting some more closets so we can have better storage. We covered the rotunda area upstairs with glass because we saw, even though we raised that place to 6 feet, there were still kids climbing up there, so we just covered it up with glass. And we also installed a lot of signs outside. You saw the speed limits and parking and everything, and we added a lot of more handicap parking, more than what is allowed to take care of our community members, alhamdulillah. We are working to complete the kitchen, inshallah. It is supposed to be, everything is done. I think in the next couple of weeks they'll come and they'll finish, inshallah, the kitchen area as well. Now, some of the accomplishments. Alhamdulillah, when we started, our pledges were very, very low. The amount of money that we were getting in because of the confidence of the community, it was pretty much nothing. I remember when we were in the trailer, we had 25 people only that were paying regularly to the masjid. Alhamdulillah, today that number is over 225, and we're collecting $18,000 every month. And that comes in as a recurring payment every month, alhamdulillah. We have the highest number of students in our Sunday school. We actually have a waiting list of 30 to 40 kids right now. And alhamdulillah, we're getting almost 10,000 plus just from the Sunday school. Between Nazra and the Hifz program, we're collecting 9,000, and this number will go up as we add more students to our Nazra and Hifz, which we are, alhamdulillah. The monthly Friday collection used to be around 3,000. Today, alhamdulillah, during a month, we collect almost 9,000 plus. Again, that shows the confidence that the community has in the work we have done, alhamdulillah. We distributed just in Ramadan this year over $100,000 of zakat and fitrah money, and I gave the updates during Fridays as well to the community. We have professional and detailed P&L statements, profit and loss statements, prepared by a professional CPA, and I post them every 6 months. You see them on TVs, you see them on the bulletin boards, and inshallah we'll post another one at the end of December as well. I gave 5 detailed presentations to the community. 3 of them were given last year in February, April, and August, and every single Friday and every newsletter every week gave you a detailed update on what was going on during construction time, and also the financials. When I did 5 presentations already, and they covered every single financial transaction that happened in this masjid, what money came in, where did we spend the money. And I'm going to go through that again today. Alhamdulillah, with the help of Asad, our legal counsel, we have vetted all our contracts. We have every staff and every volunteer now, they have to sign an NDA to protect, again, the interests of ICF. This was never done before, and alhamdulillah, we have implemented that. We purchased additional carpets and rugs for Eid Ramadan overflow to accommodate musallis. You see the carpet outside, upstairs. In Ramadan, we had carpet in all the classrooms, so we purchased that to take care of that. The masjid, alhamdulillah, is fully insured for over $5 million. We got the best price from Travelers. We contacted almost 6-7 companies. Travelers was the best rated company, and we got the best price, alhamdulillah, on that as well. Some more accomplishments. As you know, we did multiple interfaith events, including open house. Recently, we did a global village. All of these representing ICF to the community, alhamdulillah, and we got very good feedback. Just in the open house, we had almost 300 to 400 people walk into the masjid, alhamdulillah. Eid prayers for the last 2 years performed in the masjid. 20,000 plus people, alhamdulillah, performed prayers in the last 4 salahs, Eid salahs in this masjid, saving us a lot of money. We didn't have to rent any place. The advertising revenues from the TVs that we have installed outside, alhamdulillah, are growing every month. There are months we collect almost 800 to 1,000, and there are months we collect 500. So that number, alhamdulillah, keeps going up. We have started a full-time and a part-time HIFZ program for boys and girls. We have a separate sister that teaches the girls, and then we have Qari Abdul Wahid, who teaches full-time and part-time, alhamdulillah. We have hired a full-time resident scholar. It took us almost 12 months to hire that. We must have gone through at least 12 candidates to get the right person. Alhamdulillah, we are very blessed to have our Mufti here, who's been giving a lot of classes. You must have seen them, and I'm going to go through some of the classes. We already started the tafsir, Arabic, diseases of the heart. We did the jinn stories. Our youth director has done a lot of classes. There are a total of 40 different classes that are scheduled for the next 6 months. I'm going to go through that as well. We installed 6 Mohid terminals. We initially started off with 4. We added 2 more in Ramadan. And alhamdulillah, because of Mohid, today we collect over $600,000 annually without any intervention or asking anyone. People come in, they swipe the card, and alhamdulillah, we get the money. And by the way, last year, we issued 2,800 emails to our consumers, to our donors, regularly, that pay. So at year end, you have to do the taxes. So they got 2,800 emails were sent, and almost 900 plus letters were mailed to the donors. We revamped the masjid website. You must have gone through it. It's much more user-friendly, and now the updates are happening much faster. We have community members actually that are doing pro bono work. They don't charge us anything, and we're able to upgrade and update things very fast. We have offered various courses, and we plan to offer a lot more. Courses we did in the past, with Numan Ali Khan, we did 10 days, and we collected almost 17,500 just from that course. AWS Cloud, Scrum, OpenStack, we have collected over $22,000 just this year by offering these different courses for our masjid, alhamdulillah. Arabic class has been offered by a resident scholar. Over 70 people have signed up already, and we, even on the lower end, if I collect, we're going to inshallah collect $2,000 to $3,000 from there, inshallah. This is not very clear, but this is a schedule. This is going to go on the website, much more clear. But this is a schedule of our resident scholar, our imam, our youth director, all the courses, all the classes that will be offered in the next 6 months. Some of them are already active, and some of them are going to get activated, because we don't want to overwhelm the community by having too many classes, but we have a lot of things planned, alhamdulillah, for the community. And it caters to kids, adults, and everyone, alhamdulillah. Go ahead. Some of the savings that we negotiated, a lot of people don't know that in the last year and a half, we saved over $250,000 to our masjid, alhamdulillah. And I'll walk through those as well. The March space, if you remember the trailer that we had to get that halt. And I thought it was paid for, but it was not. We had to pay them. So I told them it's a 501c, we are a non-profit, please help me out. So they gave me a break of $1,000 right there, and they removed the trailer, alhamdulillah. We leveled the ground outside, if you remember, it was all uneven. We had to get dirt. We went to our neighbors, and we asked them for free dirt. So we saved almost $3,000 there. We got free dirt from them, and then we got it all leveled. You can see that it's all leveled, alhamdulillah. We have state-of-the-art surveillance and network system in this masjid. I don't know if you know that, but the Cisco system is valued at over $100,000. And alhamdulillah, with the help of our community members, we got it for $15,000 only. It has the best, it is best security and everything. The firewalls, nobody can, alhamdulillah, hack into our system. It's very secure. So we saved $85,000 just from that. And another thing that we did was, if you remember the sound system, Epic Masjid spent $200,000 on their sound system. We got the sound system for $80,000 for this masjid, alhamdulillah. The AC work, tune-ups, filter change, everything, again, is done pro bono by one of our community members. They don't charge us a penny. I don't want to name all the volunteers because there are so many, and I really want to thank all of them because this community has really come forward to help this masjid. There are so many people doing so much work, and we don't even know about that. They come and they just do their work and they leave, and they don't even ask for a penny. The Mohit terminals, yes, by the way. The Mohit terminals, before that we used to have PayPal account. I don't know if you know that. We were paying almost 3% interchange fee. I negotiated that down to 1.5, lowest any masjid pays, because my background is from credit card. I used to be the director in First Data, which is one of the largest third-party processors in the world. So I was able to negotiate that to 1.5%, and we are saving almost 12,000 plus just in interchange fees every year, alhamdulillah. Additional carpet was purchased. Again, we negotiated the price. All the additional carpet that was left, I was able to return that back and get credit for that. It never happens because that carpet was ordered for us, but since we added all the tile, so we had extra carpet, I actually got full credit for all that carpet. All of that was returned back. Plus, I negotiated another 4,000 savings because you remember the chandeliers were ordered from the same company, and the chandeliers came in late. So because they delayed everything, I told them they need to compensate me, and I got 4,000 from that as well. We have opened tax-exempt accounts, which we didn't have before, so we don't pay taxes now when we buy stuff from Costco. We buy a lot of our supplies for bathroom from Restaurant Depot, and we get them dirt cheap, so we save a lot of money. Web hosting, again, was switched to a local company. We were paying $3,600 annually. Now we pay $2,400, so we saved $1,200 there also annually. Security guard, we were paying over $4,000. Now we are down to $3,000. I negotiated that as well. I told the guy, that we are 501c, we run on donations. You need to bring the cost down or I'm going to switch. So alhamdulillah, Brother Ayaz was very helpful, and he agreed to reduce it down to $3,000. The train, I just told you that we made the full payment, and we saved $6,500 from the final payment. They waived that off, alhamdulillah. The fire system, we saved another $2,000 when we made the final payment. As far as the cleaning, landscaping, and accounting is concerned, we saved $20,000 annually. Let me explain that how. If you go to any professional company to get this mosque cleaned, 20,000 square feet with so many bathrooms, tiles, and everything, it's going to cost $3,000 to $4,000. I can guarantee you can get it and check that. We pay only $1,200 to $1,300 a month. As far as landscaping, again, we pay only $1,200 a month. And then the accounting, we pay only $200 a month, which again, the guy is doing it only because it's a masjid. Otherwise, I checked around, and Hadi Bhai can attest to that, is $500 minimum a month if you go to any accountant. So we save a lot of money there. The property tax was reduced from $70,000 to $32,000. We paid the full amount. We saved another $38,000, alhamdulillah, to ICF. And we don't have to pay property tax going forward. We emptied and canceled the storage next door as storage space. So that's another savings of $1,740 to the masjid, alhamdulillah. Total estimated saving every year, almost $250,000 from the time we opened the masjid, alhamdulillah. Go ahead. So let me just go through the monthly income that we get, and I talked about it briefly. Monthly pledges, $18,000. Sunday school, $10,000. Nazra and Hifz program, $9,000. Advertising, different programs that we're offering, $3,000 minimum. Actually, all these numbers are going up. Friday collection is already at $9,000. So total monthly gross income, approximately, we're getting around $49,000 to $50,000, alhamdulillah, every month in our masjid. Go ahead. Let me go through the expenses now also. As you can see, alhamdulillah, our expenses are lower than what we're getting. Our salaries are around 30,000 now. Utilities are 5,000. Security guard 3,000. Cleaning services 1,800. That includes the supplies also. And the reason we get supplies so cheap is because we get them from Restaurant Depot. We get it almost at, I would say, 30 to 40% cheaper than Costco or Sam's or anywhere else. The insurance, we got it for only $1,200. I checked around with at least 7, 8 companies. And alhamdulillah, travelers, we were again, one of the community members came forward and gave us a very good deal. So the entire masjid is insured and our deductible is only $1,000 if, God forbid, anything happens. I talked about the CPA and the bookkeeping and payroll services. We only pay $265, $65 for the payroll company and $200 for the CPA. We have a high-speed internet. We paid $13.50. That includes the taxes also. We will hopefully get all those taxes back because we are 501c. The credit card processing, we pay $1,600. That's between Chase and Forte. Forte is the company that takes care of all the MOI terminals, and Chase takes care of all the payment tech, which is for the Sunday school. So our total gross monthly expenses are $45,000. We're still, alhamdulillah, $3,500 in plus. Current financials, this is as of yesterday. Today, alhamdulillah, as of yesterday, we have 135,000 in operations. We have 97,000, almost 98,000 in construction. We have 53,000 in zakat, 23,000 in education. Alhamdulillah, over 310,000 right now in our accounts. Go ahead. Now this is, I just had it done because a lot of people say we want to see the profit and loss. By the way, this will go on the TV, this will go on the website. You guys can go through this in detail. I can guarantee you one thing, because this is done by a professional CPA, it's very, very detailed. You can go through every single expense. Every single penny that comes into the masjid is deposited, and every single penny that goes out either goes out through a check or through our debit card. So every single penny is accounted for, alhamdulillah. Can you wait till I finish? Thank you. So this is the balance sheet. I just talked about 312,000 there in all the accounts that we have. So our total fixed assets, alhamdulillah, today are worth 5.8 million, 5,862,000. So all the construction work, all the money that has been spent in construction, they literally become assets for the masjid. So today, alhamdulillah, because we don't have any ongoing construction, these are considered assets. Our total assets are worth 6.23 million today. I don't know if you can try. Because I had to fit the whole page on the slide. That's the biggest font I can get. But this will be displayed on the TV and everywhere. You guys can go through that. Go ahead. Can I finish first, please? Yes, I did. Let me finish the presentation. So let me give you the comparison of 2015 to 2017. This was the condition in 2015, how much cash we had, what was the value of our fixed assets, liabilities and everything. And you can see, alhamdulillah, in 2017 from till October month end, the numbers look very positive, alhamdulillah. Total liability, we have zero liability at this point, but our equity is almost 6.2 million, alhamdulillah. Go ahead. The future roadmap and lessons learned. This is something very important for the people that are running for the upcoming Shura, inshallah. We had plans to add another 260 parking spaces. This is just a suggestion. Again, whoever is the elected Shura, they can decide if they want to pursue this. But this will eliminate the need for having 2 khutbahs. We can actually have 1 khutbah if we have enough parking. Today, a lot of times the masjid is not full, even in the first Jummah. But the reason we do that is to split the traffic so we don't inconvenience our neighbors. We should build the commercial area. We did some feasibility. We can easily collect $30,000 if we do the commercial, which is about 10,000 square feet, We can get 30,000 monthly. We have a lot of classes, we need volunteers. We need people to market these classes properly. So if we get more and more community to get involved in these things and market them, we can literally raise a lot of funds from this community by offering a lot of classes. We have the caliber, we have the staff that can take care of those things. We can increase the number of people that are signing up for monthly. If you remember, every Friday I ask you guys, please sign up for $50. It can be less, it can be more. If we can take that to 500 people, it can bring in another $12,000 inshallah to the masjid. We should build a temporary basketball court, in my opinion, before building a multi-purpose hall. The reason is if you go around and you ask other masajids, when they build a multi-purpose hall, their expenses skyrocketed because you have to have air conditioning, you have to have lighting. It costs a lot of money to maintain that. We should actually focus, in my opinion, on first doing the commercial so we have recurring income coming in, and then we should do the multi-purpose hall. Again, these are just suggestions. Whatever the shura decides, that when they come, they can decide what is best. Again, my request to all of you is elect people that are sincere and committed, because this is the house of Allah. We are here to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not people. We can never please people. This is one thing I've learned. Give new people a chance, because they can really bring positive change, inshallah, into this masjid. Go ahead. At the end, I would say no one is perfect. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. And we are humans. We are not angels. We came as humans and we are humans. So we will make mistakes. So Islam teaches us to forgive. We all make mistakes. We all have our shortcomings. Some of the things we did are right. Some of the things maybe you guys didn't like it. We try to do the best we can under the circumstances. Allah is our witness. We did it only to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not to please people. One thing I've learned here, you can never please people. You can do whatever you want. People will always be unhappy, because that's the nature of human being. We're never happy. We always find faults. But we are very good to criticize. That's the best part. You do one thing wrong, everyone is on your case to criticize. You do 10 million things right, nothing. Nobody says anything. Okay, they did it. Part of their job. This is their responsibility. They should be doing this. But that's life. So the reward is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I will tell all the people that are running for shura, don't expect anything from people. Expect only the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because I know that what we have done, inshallah, not just me, all the previous shura members, all the donors, because this masjid is standing today because of you guys. You guys all pitched in. And that's the reason we have this beautiful mosque today. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward us for that. And I beg dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this a sadaqah jariyah for all of us that have helped build this masjid. Ameen. Any questions now? Please go ahead. One at a time, please. Yeah. Yeah, good question. The reason we ended up paying a property tax, based on my understanding, is they give you a waiver for a certain time frame. During that time frame, if you don't finish your masjid, then they hit you with a tax. It is. So somebody should have gone and pleaded to them that we're going to need more time because our masjid is not done, and they would have probably waived it. I don't know what transpired in the past. When I got, we already had the tax. Yeah, you can answer that.